Hello, thank you ever so much for the work that we all received from last week's lesson about Dharavi. It was exceptional, thank you so much. So I had intended to look at the recycling industry in more detail and the building of shanty towns this week, but I'm going to do that next week instead, because I'd like to show you another informal settlement somewhere else. And what we're going to do today is we're going to compare and contrast. That means we're going to look at the similarities and the differences between these two shanty settlements or informal settlements. So we are going to Rocinha, which is an area of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. And you need to complete the tasks. We're going to compare and contrast Rocinha to Dharavi. And the reason that we're doing this is because the whole point of geography is to learn about the world in order to improve the world. So we often find that different places have similar problems, but does that necessarily mean that they need similar solutions? Sometimes yes, but other times no. Sometimes a solution will work in one place with exactly the same problem as another place, but it doesn't necessarily work out in exactly the same way. You'll see what I mean, I think. So, pause and do today's date and title and this short paragraph. Rocinha is an informal settlement on the south side of Rio de Janeiro, a Brazilian megacity. Informal settlements are known as favelas in Brazil. Around 100,000 people live in Rocinha, which is built on a steep hillside. In some ways, it is similar to Dharavi in Mumbai, but there are many differences between the two places. Pause and finish that off. So there is a worksheet attached to the Show My Homework note for this lesson. But if you don't have a printer and you can't print off the worksheet, on the next slide in a second I'll show you how to organise your notes. So the important thing to see here is the central column, which is about sustainability. It says, how is this sustainable? Think C-S-E-E, social, economic, environmental. Therefore, you need to have a good grasp of what sustainable means. Sustainable means that something can be done now to make some improvement to people's lives right now, but without wasting anything, without wasting resources, without using up too much so that there isn't any left in the future, and without causing any pollution now, which could cause a problem in the future. So sustainable means that it's a solution which will carry on being a solution in the future, not a solution now which becomes a problem in the future. I've written something out for you there. Sustainable means that something can be done without being wasteful of resources or polluting to the environment. If something is sustainable, it will last into the future without using up too much of anything and without ruining the environment with pollution. Obviously, we would like things to be sustainable. Something which is unsustainable might be good now, but cause a lot of problems further down the line, either tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, or even in 100 years' time. You would still call that unsustainable. So if you've got a printer, print out the worksheet. If not, use subheadings like this. So it would be a great idea to pause in a moment when I finish talking and set out your page or 2 pages like this. Then go through the screens, pause on each one of them and put in a few notes for each bit here. I'm going to be quiet now, which is probably a great relief, and come back at the end. So yeah, pause on each and write down something but the detail of what's going on, what's happening, how it works. Is it sustainable and why, or why not? And do you think that it would be a good idea to do what they're doing in Rocinha in Dharavi? And again, why, of course. So I'll let you get on with it. So you should have a fully completed worksheet, but if you don't, then join me for the webinar when I'm going to talk through each one of those slides and tell you what I would write down on my worksheet if I were doing this same task, and send your work into your teacher when it's done. So the webinar will be Tuesday 10 till 10:30. I really appreciate everybody who comes along to watch the webinar. As I say, I'll go through the worksheet and how to complete it in more detail, and I will also show you some more pictures of Rocinha and the rest of Rio. And next week we'll do what I'd intended to do, which is more about recycling and how to build a shanty settlement. So thank you again. I hope everybody's okay. Remember to stay safe and hopefully enjoy your lessons. Thank you very much. Bye.